Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR MyCareer mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on Chicago Speedway and this is going to be a very interesting race. This is one of those mile and a halves that's quite difficult inside this game, so I'm not quite sure how things are going to go, but last time out in the Daytona Summer Race, we saw the Coors Light number 40 Dodge machine of Sterling Marlin pick up the victory, and that was an absolute delight to see him go and score his second win of the season. Now, when it comes to us, we have had our ups and downs. The season has gone on, and, Daytona last episode, it went okay. It wasn't great, but, we held on and we got a half-decent night out of it, and I'm hopeful we can, have a little bit better of a day in Chicago, but like I said, I'm a little bit concerned on how that's going. Now, we had another conversation with Red Bull this weekend, who is a new team coming into the series next season with Dodge, and when I say a conversation, well, they actually made me an offer. They made me a long-term 4-year deal offer at $1.5 million in the first year, and then an increase of $500,000 per year after that. That is a big deal for us in a 4-year project because they were very honest with me. They said the first year, we're probably going to struggle for a little while, maybe the first half of the season, and you're probably going to run worse than what you're running right now, but we think we'll figure things out after that because Red Bull is bringing a lot of funding into the series, so they are confident that they are going to be a front-running team. Now, they said to get back to me get back to them as soon as possible because they have other drivers that have expressed interest, and it's going to be kind of a first come first serve kind of deal on who takes the contract. So I'm thinking of accepting this deal as soon as possible. We have not even had a conversation yet with Wood Brothers on an offer, and I haven't had an offer from any other team so far, as we end up qualifying only 33rd here in Chicagoland. So you guys let me know down below, what should we do? Should we go and take this Red Bull offer, or should we maybe wait and see what happens and maybe take a risk of losing that ride, and who knows where we'll end up next season, either still with Wood Brothers or an entirely different team. But here in qualifying, Matt Kenseth puts it on pole over Kevin Harvick. Kenseth has been on so many pole positions this season. That's his 14th career pole. But what has he not done this season? Win a race. This is reminding me a lot of the IRL 2003 season. Kenseth is so consistent. That year he only won one single race, went on to win the championship, of course, and that kind of sparked the change in the format that we got after that. We already know we're getting a new format next season called The Chase, and Matt Kenseth here, still looking for that first win. He's been really consistent. He's up in the top 3 in the standings coming into today's race, and it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. But you notice the flame symbol beside his name. When you qualify on pole and have a flame symbol on your name, it's going to be pretty hard to beat him. So this could be the day for Matt Kenseth. Let's find out. The green flag is out. We're underway here from Chicagoland Speedway, and it's Kenseth and Harvick on your front row as we head down towards turn number 1. And for us, like I said, I don't think this is going to be an easy day. This could be honestly one of the rougher days we've had this season based off of my expectations coming into Chicago, and on top of that, just the qualifying effort as well was pretty subpar. So I think we're in for a long day. Is Kurt Busch there to my inside? He's trying to work his way forward in that Roush number 97 as we run this middle lane through 3 and 4. Who's then to my inside? The number 01 there of Jerry Nady. We know he's already signed a contract extension to remain in that 01 car next season as we complete lap 2 of 93 laps, or complete lap 1, sorry, and start lap 2. And right off the bat, we are dropping all the way to the back of the field as we have got a new leader already. Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's number 48 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports to the front. He's still looking for a second win on the season. His lead was very short-lived. He would then lose it to the number 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. So maybe Matt Kenseth not as quick as I thought, because he's already lost the lead here in this race. And for myself, we are continuing to struggle. By lap 4, well, Matt Kenseth had actually taken the lead back, so he's already proving me wrong, but we're dropping down to dead last, and we are going to need some very significant adjustments to get this car back on track and where it needs to be, because I was struggling very hard here early on, and you can see come lap 6 things were starting to kind of go back in my favor a little bit here. I had pulled alongside the number 41 Target Dodge here, fellow Rookie of the Year competitor of Casey Mears for Chip Ganassi, and we'll actually clear him on the exit of turn 4, and now we're starting to work our way forward a little bit here. And as you can see, to lap 10 now, we are running down Kyle Petty. Up there just in front of him is the number 0 of Jack Sprague. So things are starting to turn a corner, but the problem is, when we run 3x fuel and tire wear, you can only run about 20 laps at 1.5 miles on a full tank of fuel. So we're already halfway at least through this fuel run, and we're just now starting to make up some ground. So we're not going to be able to make up more ground than we lost, basically. So it's going to be a net loss overall. And here we are now passing the 45 of Kyle Petty. So another spot gained, but not looking pretty as we come to lap 14. And you can see we're getting closer to the 0 of Jack Sprague. So we're going to need some serious adjustments here. I'm going to free up the car on the wedge, and I'm also going to make some tire pressure adjustments, specifically dropping the tire pressures, but we're not far away from seeing some pit stops here in Chicago for the first time this afternoon. Now as Matt Kenseth continues to lead here since lap 4, he has been in control of this race, and things are looking very, very good in the number 17 DeWalt Ford camp there for the Roush team, as we had now run down lap 17 Jack Sprague here in that number 0 Pontiac. Now another Rookie of the Year contender, but look at this, by lap 17 Matt Kenseth is only about half a straightaway behind me. We are not far at all from going a lap down, which is very concerning. We just do not have the pace that I would like to have right now. And pit stops, though, are about to kick off, and I am planning to stretch this as far as I can into the fuel run, maybe hoping to get a caution, because I know we're going to get lapped here within a few laps after coming into the pits. And here we go. Pit stops now taking place now. And Matt Kenseth, I'm wondering if he's going to pit. Yes, he is. Matt Kenseth in the number 17 is going to give up the lead. He'll pit. Tony Stewart stays out, takes over the lead. Earnhardt Jr. as well stays out. Newman's in as well. Labonte, I saw Gordon staying out in the background there, and we come to a whole extra lap later at this point now, and I can see on the track map Tony Stewart's now coming in, and there's Kenseth and Earnhardt here, as we were now going to come into the pits right here at the end of lap 21, as drivers on fresh tires are absolutely whizzing by me. So we'll get down to pit speed, actually entering a little bit high on the racetrack, and nearly lost it right there coming in, but we're going to make some wedge adjustments. We're going to make even a grill tape adjustment. We're going to go from 35 to 40%. We're going to go down to 49.3 on the wedge, and the right side tires, we're going to take from 46 down to about 43 PSI for now, and we'll see if that makes a noticeable difference now. But I wanted to stay out as long as possible just so I could have a little bit fresher tires than the guys that have pitted before me, and hopefully that will also make a bit of a difference here as this run goes on, and maybe we can make up a little bit more time. But as we exit the pit lane, here comes the number 17. Matt Kenseth should be passing us and lapping us right here in turn 1 out of turn 2 specifically now, as a few drivers getting out of the way. Here comes Kenseth, and officially, unfortunately, 1 lap down now as well. There goes Jack Sprague. So we didn't lose too much time. I feel like we're in a decent position here to go gain some track position now, but Matt Kenseth is in a league of his own. Here comes second place, though. Tony Stewart. Caution is out, and it's for the 43 of John Andretti. Tire down, and it's going to be a yellow for cause here now. And Todd Bodine, 33rd, will get the free pass, and we're going to make some more adjustments. Might as well pit. And we're going to unfortunately be one of the 7 drivers right now, or 8 drivers a lap down. I guess I should say 7, because Andretti's actually out of the race. So as we return to racing, well, not what we wanted to see, because now we know we really are going to need a lot of help to finish any better than, like 33rd. So yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate. And as we head down into turn 1 here on lap 26 of 93, now it's like, okay, we're racing for the free pass, but the question is, can we even, get our car into that position? Because what we saw, in that first run there is we just didn't have the speed. And as we came towards about lap 7 or 8, things started to turn. And then, in the final, the 15 or so laps just about that we ran after that, we actually had some decent speed. But the problem was we gave up so much time in the first handful of laps before that happened that we weren't really able to make up a whole lot overall. And that's my concern here now, as we, actually, we're going to get taken 3 wide into turn 1. Bodine, free pass pass to my inside. Kyle Petty to the right side, and in my mirror there you got the 41 of Casey Mears as well, but a contact there with the 45. We're going to be still 3 wide, middle down the back straightaway. Kenseth is driving away early on here in this restart, but now a few laps go by, lap 29, and we start to go back forward here now, passing the 45 of Kyle Petty, and at this point we had been able to stick with the group in front of us a lot better than the first run, and now we're already on the back of Tony Raines and Jack Sprague, and now I'm hoping that this stays green, because I feel like we actually might have potential here to race ourselves into the free pass and hopefully get a caution, before a pit stop comes at this point now. So we're going to go to the inside of the 74. We'll pass Raines here through 3, and we continue to go forward alongside the 0 of Jack Sprague. A little bit of contact there on the exit of turn 4, leaning on his door just a little bit, but we should be able to pass him right here on the exit of turn 4, lap 33. Not quite. He gets back to my outside right there on the exit of turn 4, but we should be able to clear him right here down the front straightaway, which we do. So right now P36 passing Ricky Craven. Craven's actually on the lead lap, so that tells me at least one positive is we got more speed than a guy that's on the lead lap now, so we have definitely made some improvements. We just need to get ourselves back onto the lead lap, and right now the only way we're going to be able to do that is without a caution or being in a free pass spot. We're just gonna have to stretch the field run again as long as possible and hope a caution comes out in between the leaders pitting and giving up that lap to me and then me pitting. So that would be a perfect case scenario now, as we're working on passing the 41 of Casey Mears. Clipped the apron just a little bit right there, but on the exit of turn 2 we would clear him nonetheless. And then for 33rd, passing here to the outside, the number 23 of Kenny Wallace. So we're making some serious gains right here as this run goes on, and pit stops are underway again for many drivers now hitting the pit lane as we roll through 3 and off of turn 4. So second round of green flag pit stops does kick off here from Chicagoland now, as we're continuing to fight alongside this number 23 of Kenny Wallace on this run down into turn number 1. He's going to actually re-clear me, unfortunately, but we would continue to try and fight back. Matt Kenseth has now come into the pits as well from the lead. He's in the first run pitted earlier than the fellow leaders behind him, and now he's going to do the same thing again here as we come to a lap later. In comes the 23, and we're into P22. Still not on the lead lap because Kurt Busch has stayed out, and through goes Labonte, through goes Harvick. We're losing so much time to those guys, but obviously today we're not racing these guys as we head down this back straightaway. Here comes Ryan Newman right up to my left rear into turn 3. Contact with the number 12. Around he goes. We crash together into the outside wall, and the caution's going to fly, and that is the number 1 thing we did not need. And it ends up being a self-inflicted incident, and I think that was just a miscommunication. Newman and myself going side by side. And oh my goodness, look at how many drivers are trapped a lap down. This changes a lot, and you see a replay. I mean, I didn't expect the 12 to be right on my door. Right here into turn 3, I'm kind of turning in. You can be the judge on that one. I really don't know. I came down, but I definitely expected him to turn into the corner more than he did. And unfortunately, I just trapped a lot of cars a lap down. Matt Kenseth actually got the free pass, but we have got 3/4 of the field a lap down or more. So as we return back to the green flag racing, we are P34. Matt Kenseth's right behind us, so he actually kind of gets a lucky break because he's dominated this race, but he does not have to go and race his way back onto the lead lap now. He was already in the free pass position, so that works out relatively well for the DeWalt number 17 team. Obviously, I'm pretty frustrated because of that crash with Ryan Newman. I know Newman's not going to be happy either. We just wrecked him, and I wrecked myself as well in the process. I really just genuinely thought the 12 car was going to turn down the track more than he did, and I started turning into the corner like I was, normally would. And unfortunately, he was just, turning a lot less than I was, and I feel pretty bad about that. But I was pretty frustrated because of that, because, things could have worked out. We could have gotten onto the lead lap by staying out a little bit longer and maybe could have got that caution, but instead we are the caution, and, we're still trapped a lap down. And yeah, just overall pretty annoyed how that all went down. It's a missed opportunity now, and Kurt Busch is out in front in the number 97 as we pull back alongside Jack Sprague here in that number 0, and we're going to work on passing him, and he's not making this easy here in that number 0 as we head down the back straightaway. Still side by side, leaning on his door. He gets clear down the back stretch here on lap 52, as we'll try to fight back here into turn number 3. He goes 3 lanes up just about, and we'll go all the way back down to the inside, pull alongside him, lean on his door just a little bit again for the second time here today. I'm sure he is not a huge fan of how I've been kind of leaning on him a few times now. Only 41 laps to go, more contact with the zero. I felt like he did not leave a lot of room there going into the corner, as now he's going to try and re-clear us. We'll fight back on the exit of turn 2, cleared, but on the exit of turn 4, fighting back to his inside down the tri-oval, will be side by side across the line. 40 laps to go, and he's barely giving us room to come back on the track. More contact with the zero. He goes sideways right in front of us. We hit him in the left rear, and we're going to turn him around in the center of 1 and 2. Cautions out. We crash together into the outside wall, and oh boy, I have no excuse for that. He got sideways. I had to crash out, and I finished him off. I mean, he was pinning me down. I mean, for 2 laps, I don't know what he expected. He had it coming.
Yeah, well, you've got a penalty coming now, bud. NASCAR just posted you for a stop and go penalty for unsportsmanlike behavior.
I'm not even going to try and argue that one. I think that's honestly fits the crime. I just had enough at that point now. I mean, with the incident with that guy right there in front of us with Ryan Newman and Sprague, I mean, I felt like he was leaning on my door, and then we go through the tri-oval, and I come back on the racetrack, and he left me no room. And I mean, yeah, I mean, we saw what happened, and once he slid across my nose, I just basically aimed for the quarter panel to finish him off. So Tony Stewart, he got the free pass. We just ruined our race, and we have made a lot of errors as a rookie. We have made a lot of enemies so far, and, you know, I feel like the fans are probably getting to a point where they're not, you know, liking me on the racetrack very much now as well, as we'll come in and serve our stop and go penalty. I hope that this is all NASCAR does. I am a little bit worried. You know, we just got off of probation very recently. Yeah, we'll see what happens out of this going into the next race in New Hampshire. But we'll return to the race, and Elliott Sadler currently leads. Matt Kenseth, I can see from here, is ripping through the field right now as a huge pack of cars right here all clumped together. It looks like Talladega is going to go past us. So now we're 2 laps down. Now, here's one very small positive. There is several cars 2 laps down, including this guy, Kyle Petty. So we dropped back to the same lap as them, and a few laps later, we had actually started, you know, running them down and passing them back. So we're passing the 45, and, you know, at this point now, it's just like, okay, let's just try to aim for a top 35, basically, and finish this day off and just get out of here, because, you know, I have completely made a fool of myself on the racetrack, and it's not been pretty. Matt Kenseth is back to the lead here from Chicago. That team has gone through quite a bit of adversity as the 97 of Kurt Busch loses a tire. Oh my goodness, up and over off the hood of Greg Biffle, and the caution is out again here from Chicago, and immediately the first thing I'm going to do is come into the pits and make more adjustments. I was hoping we could take a wave around, but Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, other drivers staying out from the lead lap means we can't quite do that. Kurt Busch, unfortunately, having a great day, is now out of this race.
Coming to the green, driver.
So as we get ready to go back green, it's going to be P34 on lap 67, as it's going to be just below 30 laps to go here from Chicagoland now, and we're racing the likes of, you know, Casey Mears. Maybe, actually, no, I don't think we are racing Casey Mears. He is a lap in front of us, but I believe we are racing that 25. Obviously now, we're not going to be in a position to get a free pass. No, it's actually Jack Sprague we're racing for position with, so he's the last one ahead of us that's on the same lap as us. So right now we're racing for 33rd. That's going to be the absolute best we can do without some, you know, good fortune on our side. Currently, we still have to make a single pit stop before this race is over, so that is definitely the opportunity right there. Could we maybe get a little bit of luck on our side and use some strategy and get ourselves, of course, maybe, just maybe, up into the maybe 1 lap down range if we get a lucky timed yellow? I don't know. We're just going to keep fighting and hope for the best, as we're actually getting split 3 wide in the middle by the 4 of Mike Skinner and the 23 right there of Kenny Wallace as we head down into turn number 1 on lap 70. New leader as well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Keep in mind, Kenseth did not pit, neither did Greg Biffle. Roush was having a great day outside of Mark Martin. I mean, Kenseth was running great, as well as Biffle and Kurt Busch was running there in P2 until his race comes to an unfortunate end right there. But we've actually dropped in back to 35th here behind the 45 of Kyle Petty, and we would drop all the way eventually to 36. Jeff Gordon just passed us. He's actually the driver that got awarded the free pass with that caution coming out there recently now, as we continue to maintain 26 now, and we're going to, 36, sorry, as we're going to try and fight our way back forward to try and gain 3 more positions before this race comes to a close now, as Dale Jr. continues to lead. 1 win on the season for Dale Earnhardt Jr. so far. Could he maybe get his second win here of the season in Chicago? Now, Dale Jr. certainly in the championship conversation, but he's got a little bit more work to do to really become a prominent figure in that championships convo, because you got Jimmy Johnson and, or not Dale Jr., but Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth as well. The kind of 3 guys right now that are in control. As we got a yellow, we got a tire down on Ricky Craven in the background. Caution is going to fly here once more, and again, we're all going to pit, and unfortunately, at this point, I mean, we could have stayed out, maybe gone for a waiver round, but we would have to pit in like 10 laps, and it's a bit of a risk at this point. So this pit stop here just guarantees us to go to the end of the race. So we would lose even more if we got a green flag pit stop at this point by staying out right here. So as we return to the green flag, well, as we kick things back off, it's going to be, well, 14 laps to go for us, but that means 12 laps to go in this race for the leaders. But now for Dale Jr., Matt Kenseth is in P3 on the same tires as at Budweiser number 8. That's going to be very difficult for Dale Jr. to hold off the number 17 now as we head down this back straightaway towards turn number 3, and the 32 of Ricky Craven to my inside. Now as Matt Kenseth is going to retake the lead here from Chicagoland, and now it's going to be, I think, all him at this point. He's just hoping for one simple thing: please stay green. Matt Kenseth has not won a single race this season, as we had dropped, unfortunately, again off the back of the pack. But as these laps close in towards the end, we know we're going to reel these guys back in. This has been a miserable race here from Chicago, and I was so ready for the checkered flag to fly at this point. But I mean, like I said, you just gotta basically get to the end here and make sure that we just can move on to New Hampshire. We have made a fool of ourselves here today, unfortunately now, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if NASCAR parked us going into New Hampshire next episode. So do not be shocked if there's another driver in this number 21 next episode. But nonetheless, we're finishing this thing as strong as we can, and even fighting with the guy that we wrecked on purpose there, the 0 of Jack Sprague. And I mean, you know, we had a crash out when we wrecked someone on purpose for like 35th earlier in the day, but we passed him. We can maybe race here with Kyle Petty before this race is over now, coming to lap what would be 90. So 4 laps to go right now, or 3 laps to go actually, sorry. We have 5 to go ourselves, so 3 laps to go here, and now coming to 2 to go. Matt Kenseth just got 2 laps to go, and I see smoke up ahead, and that's the 30 going around. Jeff Green, caution's gonna fly with 2 laps to go. NASCAR overtime. Oh boy, everyone's staying out but for me. I'm gonna come in and take 4 tires and literally, oh, actually Jeff Green, of course, he's gonna pit on the lead lap, but we're simply doing this to just try and maybe get to 33rd, because we now have that tire advantage. Ryan Newman will get the free pass. Jimmy Johnson stuck a lap down in about 20th. This is going to be a big hit to the points for him. That's going to probably shift the championship back to the guy on the left there, Tony Stewart. But Matt Kenseth leads in NASCAR overtime. Jamie McMurray, Rookie of the Year contender in P4 row 2, as we got just 2 laps to go here from Chicago. Who's going to get back here first? Now, Matt Kenseth looking for win number 1 on the season. Don't rule out the number 8 as well. Dale Earnhardt Jr. up there in the conversation as we exit turn 2. And now this is where we're going to make up some ground right here. We're going to go 3 wide to the inside of the 23 and the 0 of Wallace and Sprague into turn number 3. Kenseth leads. Earnhardt into 2nd. Stewart drops into the 3rd position. Biffle up there in the conversation as well. It's going to be white flag, 1 lap to go from Chicagoland. Matt Kenseth is driving driving away from the field is finally going to happen here now. Kenseth sitting on 12 wins so far to his young NASCAR Winston Cup Series career, but if he can hang on for half a lap, it's going to become 13 now as we move up into 33rd. We've done it with the tires. That's as far as we can possibly go as we head down into turn 3 for one more time. Off turn 4, it's not even a contest. Matt Kenseth's going to do it. Kenseth will win in Chicago, career win number 13, and catapults himself even further into the championship conversation as we bring it home for 33rd as Dale Jr.'s runner-up over Tony Stewart, Biffle, and McMurray, 2 rookies in the top 5. How about Dave Blaney as well with a 6th place result, and Jeff Gordon a solid top 10. Honestly, actually the highest finishing Hendrick car. Jeff Gordon's just got to do that. Get some races under his belt that get some top 10 days, and they'll be, kind of clawing their way back into just a decent season here. Yeah, we embarrassed ourselves here, unfortunately, today. It is what it is, and we'll see if NASCAR cracks down even further in New Hampshire. I hope not, as Tony Stewart now takes the championship lead by 22 points over Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson, who are tied, and then a bit of a larger gap to the other guys of Harvick, Jr., Newman, and then some. We have dropped down to P11 now, outside of the top 10 in the standings, and all of the top 8, by the way, have wins this season. How about that? Nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one from New Hampshire. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.